Have you ever pondered why one of the world's most powerful civilizations, the Roman Empire, crumbled into oblivion? Once, the Roman Empire was a behemoth that sprawled across 3 continents. From the sun-drenched vineyards of Italy to the rain-soaked forests of Britannia, its reach was vast and its influence immense. It was an empire that wielded power like a sword, and its legions were the sharp edge of that blade. But even the mightiest tree can be felled, and the Roman Empire was no exception. Theories about its fall are as varied as the lands it once conquered. Some suggest economic instability and over-reliance on slave labor. Others point to political corruption, military overspending, or the devastating impact of invasions. But is there a singular reason, or is it a combination of several factors? That's the enigma we're here to unravel. Join us as we unravel the timeline leading to the fall of this mighty empire. Rome didn't build its empire by playing safe. It was a civilization of innovation and power. At its zenith, Rome was a beacon of human achievement, a testament to what a civilization could accomplish when driven by ambition and ingenuity. The Roman Empire, at the height of its power, stretched from the sun-baked deserts of Africa to the rain-soaked forests of Britain, from the golden sands of Spain to the frigid steppes of Russia. This vast expanse of territory wasn't just a display of military might, but a testament to Rome's administrative prowess. Its influence permeated the known world, shaping cultures and societies in ways that resonate to this day. Its achievements in law, architecture, engineering, and the arts still echo in our modern world. Its language, Latin, is the mother of the Romance languages and has influenced the scientific, legal, and religious lexicon. But even the mightiest empires have their sunset. The first signs of decay were subtle, almost imperceptible. Rome, the grandeur of the ancient world, began to show cracks in its foundation. These cracks were not literal, but metaphorical, and they were as damaging as any physical rupture. The Roman Empire, at its peak, was the epitome of civilization, a beacon of prosperity and progress. But beneath that lustrous surface, the empire was slowly being eroded by several factors. Economic troubles were among the earliest signs of decay. A once thriving economy began to falter as Rome expanded its territories. The vast empire needed a lot of resources to sustain, and as the costs of maintaining its sprawling territories soared, the empire's coffers started to dwindle. The wealthy became wealthier, while the poor sunk deeper into poverty. This widening economic disparity was a ticking time bomb. The empire's military spending was another crack in the foundation. Rome was known for its powerful army, but maintaining such a force was a costly affair. The empire was constantly at war, defending its borders, suppressing rebellions, and expanding its territories. The military expenses were draining the empire's treasury, leaving little for other crucial areas like infrastructure and public welfare. Government corruption was yet another factor contributing to the empire's decline. Positions of power were often bought rather than earned, leading to a leadership that was more interested in personal gain than in the welfare of the empire. The rampant corruption eroded trust in the government, leading to unrest among the citizens. Finally, the loss of traditional Roman values played a significant role in the empire's decline. The Romans were known for their discipline, their respect for law, and their sense of duty. But as the empire expanded, these values began to dilute. The once proud and disciplined citizens of Rome were slowly replaced by a populace more interested in personal pleasures than in the welfare of the empire. Fragile foundations create a shaky empire, laying the groundwork for disaster. The cracks in the foundation of the Roman Empire were many, and they were deep. And as we will see, they were harbingers of the impending catastrophe. As Rome weakened internally, external forces were gathering strength. The empire, once a beacon of power and stability, was now a ripe target for invasions, particularly by the barbarian tribes from the north and east. These tribes, including the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, and Franks, were not solely driven by a desire for conquest. They were in fact pushed westward by the terrifying, unstoppable force of the Huns. Emerging from the vast steppes of Central Asia, the Huns were fierce warriors, known for their exceptional horse riding and archery skills. Their relentless onslaught forced the barbarian tribes to flee, and the vast, wealthy lands of the Roman Empire seemed an attractive refuge. The Romans, already struggling with internal strife and economic woes, were ill-prepared to handle the successive waves of these invasions. The military, once the pride of Rome, was stretched thin and could not offer effective resistance. The barbarians seized this opportunity, and their invasions were marked by a series of sackings, lootings, and destruction, further weakening the already crumbling empire. In the midst of this chaos, the empire made a drastic decision. In a bid to manage the vast territories more effectively, the empire was split into two halves: the Western Roman Empire, with Rome as its capital, and the Eastern Roman Empire, with its capital at Byzantium, later known as Constantinople. This division, however, was not a solution but a desperate measure. It marked the beginning of the end of unified Rome. The western half, more exposed to the barbarian invasions, bore the brunt of the onslaught. The eastern half, while not entirely immune to invasions, had a somewhat stronger position. It had better fortifications, a more robust economy, and was relatively insulated from the barbarian threats, allowing it to survive for another 1,000 years as the Byzantine Empire. The once unified empire was now a house divided. Its glory days were in the past, and it stood on the precipice of a monumental fall. The stage was set for the final act in the saga of the Roman Empire. The final chapters of a once mighty empire were written in the 5th century AD. A time of strife and turmoil, the Western Roman Empire was teetering on the brink. Its glory days were a distant memory, its strength and unity shattered. Enter Odoacer, a Germanic king with ambition in his eyes and a formidable force at his command. His armies swept across the Western Roman Empire, leaving devastation in their wake. The beleaguered Romans, weakened by years of internal conflict and external threats, could not withstand this final onslaught. In the year 476, Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor, a boy named Romulus Augustus. With this act, the Western Roman Empire, a beacon of civilization and power, was no more. The millennia-old city of Rome, the heart of an empire that had once stretched from the British Isles to the sands of Egypt, fell silent. And thus, the sun finally set on the Roman Empire. The fall of the Roman Empire was not an overnight event. It was a gradual deterioration, a slow erosion that took centuries to culminate in its final demise. As we've journeyed through the narrative of Rome's rise and fall, we've seen how the glory of the empire was marred by cracks in its foundation. Internal decay gnawed at the heart of Rome, with corruption, political instability, and economic crises slowly eroding the empire's vitality. Simultaneously, the relentless waves of barbarian invasions and the monumental split of the empire into east and west added to the mounting pressures that eventually brought this colossal civilization to its knees. The final blow, as we've discussed, was both a product of these internal and external threats and a testament to their devastating impact. The fall of Rome, a poignant reminder that even the mightiest can fall.